I'm just kind of enjoying myself at the moment in semi-retirement, which was really accelerated by the COVID situation.
Of course.
Because you couldn't really go and play anywhere anyway. And so one or two of my projects have been delayed, but I managed to get one out recently with some Dutchmen playing a jazz quartet format.
Tell me a little bit about it.
Well, my previous album that I made with a string quartet, Ever Open Door, that was put out. I managed to get this company in the Netherlands to release it.
Uh-huh.
And I went over and did some negotiating with them. And that night, the company's near Amsterdam somewhere. And that night I went out with the head of the company and this young man, bass player, Jasper Thompson. We went out for dinner. And the guy that runs the company said, "You two should make an album." Because he knew my work and he knew Jasper's work, which I didn't at the time. So we said, yeah, that'd be nice. And so we corresponded by email mostly and talked to each other about doing it. And we agreed to do it and got some numbers together. And then the whole thing was postponed for a couple of years, really, by the COVID situation. Right. But earlier this year, we're speaking now in 2022, and we managed to record it. So I'm very proud of it.
So it's another instrumental album, isn't it?
Yes. And on it we do, I found this tune called Don't Ever Leave Me, which is a short, beautiful melody. So because we envisaged making this album on vinyl, which it is, it's coming out on vinyl, but it's also out on CD. And we decided to play this short tune 4 times so that on each side of the vinyl, it would start with that tune and finish with that tune. So that's why there's 4 versions of Don't Ever Leave Me.
What was it about that tune that you were so enamored with?
I just love the tune. It's very nice. I first heard it by the jazz pianist Keith Jarrett, and just loved it. And so the thing is, I just really like a good melody. And on this CD, there's several really, really nice tunes that I found in various places. One I found on Pat Metheny, on the new, well, it was new a couple of years ago, Pat Metheny album, and some folk
Which one's
tunes.
that one?
That's called From This Place. I think his album's called From This Place. And it's a beautiful tune. It's a song actually. People sing it on his album. But
is it not surprising that your collaborator from the record company in the Netherlands went along with you to produce an instrumental album? Because instrumental albums traditionally don't sell very well, do they?
Well, perhaps not. Yeah, but I don't really make this music to sell. I make this music because I want to just make some music. If it sells, it sells. It's not going to be a big breakfast in America, is it?
No,
So,
I guess not. But if that's not your intention, then that's all well
no,
too. So you're really doing it for your own pleasure more than anything else.
well, yes. I just want to, and it's nice to interact with these musicians, and on this one, as on Ever Open Door, the last album I did with the string quartet, I did a couple of Supertramp tunes.
Yeah, we know. We've just heard a few of them. Yeah. But this one doesn't feature any Supertramp tunes, does it?
This one features 3 Supertramp tunes.
Ah.
Yeah, the two.
Why
of
is
us,
that?
Just like the tunes, and I thought, well, I'll do a different version of the tunes because it's been a big part of my life, all these Supertramp tunes. So, yes, so I like them.
So you seem to be heading back to your roots of jazz. So I mean, even though they're Supertramp tunes, they're done in a jazzy sort of way, aren't they?
Yes, yeah, because there's the 4 of us playing drums, bass, piano, saxophone, and yes, my original inspiration to start playing an instrument was the clarinet was jazz, and I sort of started with jazz and then kind of morphed into pop in a way, R&B and all sorts of, and so I'll play anything really. I do a few sessions, popish or rock or whatever, just whatever takes my fancy. But I do like a good tune.
Yeah.
And that's what you can find. Yeah, it's what you can find on this album.
It's a great album. I really like it. And it's as relaxing and calming as the previous one too, I find. So you've really come full circle, haven't you?
Yes. I don't know where I can go now. Perhaps around the circle again.
Or start a square.
Or disappear up. No, I won't go there.
No. Well, you must be very proud of yourself for all your achievements to date, and to have reached a place in your life now where you can be making the music that you want to make just for the sheer enjoyment of it.
Well, that's true. Yeah, it's a nice thing. And I should be able to go out next year. Now this COVID thing is sort of waning, go out and do some gigs. So I'm hoping to do some gigs with this quartet and also with my big band. Big band. Did we talk about the big band before?
I have a little bit on the big band already that I put into the segment before this. So
yeah, good.
I mean, you can tell me a little bit about it. I can flesh that out a little further.
Well, the big band album is finished. We managed to finish that after a COVID interruption. And we're waiting at the moment, we're waiting for permission from the publishers of all the songs, because every song is written by Rick Davies, Roger Hodgson. And so we're waiting for permission from them to release it. So it'll be released when they give permission. And
are you likely to get that permission?
I hope so. I don't know in the end. It's a strange situation, but the music's good. And for the few gigs that we've done, people really like it. We're playing in a festival in this country, in Buxton in the summer. We might be playing at the Montreal Jazz Festival.
Oh, fabulous.
That's in negotiation. So we'll see what happens there.
John Helliwell, do you still speak to Rick and to Roger at all?
Well, occasionally, although Roger's kind of disappeared. And whenever you try and get hold of him, you can only get through to his erstwhile manager. He's cut himself off from...
Again.
Well, I don't know whether it's from civilization or just me.
No, I guarantee it's not just you. I think he appears to have just taken time out and stepped back from it all one more time.
Yeah.
When we last spoke, you hadn't ruled out the possibility of a reunion of Supertramp. Has anything transpired that would take us closer to that potential at all? That possibility?
I doubt it, but the only thing that's transpired since we last spoke is time. But I don't think time in this case is an improvement in the situation. Time probably is a disimprovement in the situation. But
so I mean,
it's not totally impossible, but it's doubtful. Right. I would do it.
I know.
No problem.
So currently we have you playing your own version of Supertramp songs with the indelible John Helliwell stamp on it. And we also have Roger out there playing Supertramp stuff with his own style too, yes. Don't we?
Yeah, of course. And I don't know whether Rick would be up for it now, because in 2015 he got multiple myeloma, and although he's recovered from that, I don't think the rigors of a stadium or arena, whatever tour would be. I don't think he'd be up for it.
We would love one unification of the five of you would be sensational. Supertramp was such an amazing band, and sorely missed in today's world, I think. Of all the Supertramp songs that there are, John Helliwell, and there are so many, do you have one absolute favourite? And don't tell me the logical song, because We've heard that one already, and I know that one is yours because you played your solo on there. Is there one that the melody really gets to you?
Interesting. Well, I have to say too then, if there's one that stands out above any other for every or any reason, that would be Crime of the Century.
Why?
Just because it's emotional to me. It was the end of the first album that I was on. We finished every show with it. It means a lot to me. But if you want me to talk about a melody specifically, I think that if everyone was listening, would probably be right up there, just as a melody.
Right. Do you miss those, John? Do you miss those days playing those massive stadiums and arenas?
What's interesting? Not particularly, but I do look back on it with a lot of pleasure.
Yeah, I mean, you're very talented. Each one of you is super talented, and the combination of the five of you was unbeatable. But very lucky to have had the breaks that you did when you got them, and to have been able to experience that, weren't you?
Yes, yeah, it was a good combination of the five different talents of the people in the band coming together and making something more than the sum of those five, and then getting the breaks and really working hard. That was we did put a lot of work into it to sound good.
And you sure did that. When you look back on it now, would you do it all the same way again? Are there any regrets or anything that you would change?
No regrets from me, no.
Nothing you'd change?
No regrets. I don't think so. It would have been nice to maybe work more, but the Supertramp was a product of 5 different people, so we have to take all 5 into consideration. If it had just been me on my own, I probably would have worked more for some reason, but that's all right. I just like playing.
Yeah, I bet your family are very happy though that you chose, or that you were in a situation where you didn't work quite as much as perhaps you would have liked to. They got to have a bit more of you.
Yes.
John, thank you so much for chatting with me again. It's such a pleasure, and congratulations on this latest album. I hope we can talk again with the next one that comes out, because it seems like there's a whole lot left in you yet to come.
Let's do it. This whole thing is continuing.
Yeah, great. The circle keeps going round.
Too. Yeah.
Thank you so much, John.